Hi viewers, welcome to another episode of Football Unfiltered, and today we'll be looking at the EPL review from the weekend's game. And here in the studio we have my Chelsea fan, Blaze. Welcome to the studio.
Thank you, BUBE. It's beautiful to be here again to discuss football.
Yes, you're welcome. And we have my Arsenal fan, Emmanuel.
Thank you very much. It's always an exciting, moment being here.
Yes. So quickly, let's look at the weekend review, starting from the Spurs West Ham game. And I'll be starting with you, Emmanuel. What's your take on this game?
During the preview, we predicted that game to be a tough one, based on the records from the two teams. Yeah, but then like we always say in football, you only analyze and predict what you can. But then on the field, things happen. Yesterday Saturday game against West Ham was actually a surprising one to me. I was not expecting that game to produce much that kind of goals. I was expecting maybe a 2-1, 3-1 kind of win. But surprisingly, Spurs came out and what's his name? Son is actually, I don't know, the way he came back now. He came back as if he wants to come and top Haaland. He almost scored a hat-trick yesterday. He missed a one-on-one chance, and then it was just like the ball was all over him. The game was all over him yesterday. So it was really an interesting game to me because I was not expecting Spurs to go that far. But then that's what makes it football.
Exactly. So Blaze, what's your take on this game?
Like I said, during the preview, we actually predicted that it would be a two sides kind of game. That even if Spurs will score, West Ham will score as well. We actually predicted it to be a draw. No, we said a draw.
2-2 draw.
Yes, so we actually predicted that there will be scoring of goals. So we felt that it would be balanced. If West Ham score, Spurs should also score.
Yeah.
So it was also surprising to me that going into that game, it was as if it's not as if Spurs had the better of the game, scoring 4 goals and West Ham scoring 1. It's unfortunate for West Ham this season, even though like we have been saying throughout this show, for the transfer market, West Ham were the best. They bought good players, they changed the coach, they brought in good players to come into the team. So everybody expected that in this new season that they'll be doing well. It's unfortunate that they've not found their fitting even right until this moment. Spurs you're looking at is a one game in, one game off kind of. Even the Manchester United, they won. I didn't see anything exceptional they play. I didn't really watch this match because I was on transit. But I was surprised when I checked online, checked the preview log again, and I was wondering, is this the same Spurs I've been watching throughout this? What it shows is that West Ham as a team is terrible. At the moment, that's what it shows. West Ham is a terrible team, and it's as if it's just kudos that is remaining in that team, because at the end of the day you watch the highlight or you watch their game and it's as if it's just kudos that is hungry to win. Every other player is relaxed. They are not doing anything. It's as if the coach is confused. He doesn't know the change. One game he brought in a player, when the game just started he removed the player after 20 minutes, then brought in a new player. You'll be wondering what is happening. That's why I tell clubs, like I always say, these mid-table clubs, that you don't be fast to sack your coach. You think that he's not doing well enough. Their last coach, at least they always complete. I mean, West Ham is always competing, but with the way they are going this season, I don't think they will end up in any Europe spot. And if they actually don't relegate, they should be grateful to God.
And it's kind of unfortunate since Kudos got a red card, meaning that he won't be playing the next game.
You can imagine only the Kudos that is even trying to perform got a red card, an unfortunate red card, because I don't know, that game has already finished. I don't know why he struggled the way he struggled. But sometimes you can't control your anger. When people do something, you want to retaliate. Then you forget the rules of the game. So it's unfortunate he got that red card. I don't know who they're playing next. I don't see how they're going to win that match against their next opponent.
Let's see how that goes. Okay, so let's look at the next review from the weekend's game between Fulham and Aston Villa, and I'll be starting from you, please. So what's your take on this game, seeing that Aston Villa defeated Fulham 3-1?
I always doff my cap for Aston Villa. I always say it that they're a good team. not just this season. From last season, they've been a good team. From last season, they even went to the Champions League last season. This season already, they have beaten a team like Bayern. You know what it is to your CV that an Aston Villa
team beats Bayern, almighty Bayern.
It's something you can boast of. So going into that game, we actually predicted that even though that Fulham as a team are also a team that are informed this season, but we predicted
a draw.
I myself, I predicted that it should be a game that Aston Villa
can win,
or should win. Then we say it might be a draw. But going into that game, Aston Villa winning is not surprising to me. Fulham scored first. In fact, it's like Aston Villa is the new Madrid of the EPL because it's not by scoring them first. After scoring them, can you defend enough for them to win that game? Fulham scored first, and Aston Villa came back to win that game. They didn't just come back, they won with 3 goals. That means they're not trying, they don't want this team that they went to, this kind of thing that the Leicesters did, that you go to Champions League and the next season they're not seeing it. They don't want their success to be a one-off something. They're trying their best so that this team becomes consistent. It's what they're doing. They want to become one of the top 6. They want to be at the Champions League back to back, maybe at worst the Europa League. Looking at they have the squad for it. Funny enough, they have a good squad from their goal. They have an exceptional coach. So kudos to Aston Villa. They've been doing well so far. Let's see if they can consistently be this good.
Okay, so what do you have to say about this game, Emmanuel?
The thing I can add is that Aston Villa is doing this thing on purpose. because if you I watched that game and I will tell you with all sense that Aston Villa deliberately allowed that game to end that way in first half. Watch their last 3-4 matches. They do it on purpose. They allow you to score and second half they embarrass you. What do you mean that you come second half and you're winning somebody 3-1? I don't understand. Is it a primary school game or something? So I think this coach has learned from Real Madrid. I think he has actually So you begin to wonder the kind of pattern of football they play now. They don't even allow you to hold ball a minute. They pick it up from you and then see them attacking from all cylinder and all that. So I think Aston Villa is just like you said, they are the new Real Madrid of England now. I'm just lucky that Arsenal has already won them before this. Even we meet Aston Villa again, it might not actually end in our favor because of the way Aston Villa is playing. But I believe we might get a draw in that game. But then I give it to we'll talk about that. I must say it. So, but then Aston Villa is actually playing an impressive football. They are improving in all sides. And they have one of the best goalkeepers in the world now. Yeah. So you can actually count on
you can actually call him the best goalkeeper
currently. So right now you can actually count on Aston Villa in all angles. And the defensive, the attack, the midfield, the goalkeeping department, they are okay.
Thank you so much. Okay, let's look at the next game of the weekend, which was between Man United and Brentford. Blaze, what's your take on this game? Seeing that, I think you predicted this as the shock of the week.
Yeah, I said it. Yes,
that Man U might end up winning, and they ended up winning. So, what do you have to say about this game?
The thing is that Man U did not have any other option but to win that game, because with the way they have been performing, if they didn't win that game, it's either they sack the coach or they sell the club. So, they just had to win that game. Yeah. Going into that game, if you watch the game, these guys, Brentford still scored first.
Yeah.
In fact, the first half, I didn't know what Manchester United were doing. So anything Ten Hag told them during that first half break, I think that subsequently during the matches he should better tell them.
Maybe he tell them I beg.
So they came back into the second half, and it's as if it was another thing. Another thing. Kudos to Rashford. He actually stepped up. I think he gave 1 or 2 assists. Kudos to Garnacho. We don't talk about Garnacho enough. Even though that I, as a person, I do not see him as someone that is a world-class player, but for somebody his age, carrying Manchester United at your back,
honestly,
back to back, you have to give him that kudos. It's not easy. Even from last season, most of the time, if you watch Manchester United game, at the end of the day, they are struggling. Somebody will have to save them. Who is saving them? Is either Bruno Fernandes or Garnacho. So it's good to give him. When you see players do well, it's not just about criticizing them all the time.
You give them that kudos.
So far, he's been doing good. Even though I feel that. I feel that they need to add better players to the team. But if you watch what Manchester United have spent on that team, you say, what else can they spend? So it's either their scouts are not scouting right, or the coach is not picking the right players, because the team is a well-coached team. And a well-coached team having to rely on a teenager that's coming from the academy like Garnacho is not looking good. It's not looking very good. But kudos to Garnacho for what he has done so far. Kudos to Manchester United. I know we have bantered them so a lot in this.
So let's give them that
flowers that they actually went into that game and won that game.
Okay, Emmanuel, do you have anything to add to what he has said?
Yes, just like what he has said, Garnacho is actually a savior right now in Man U, because as I was watching the game yesterday, the commentator was actually giving kudos to Garnacho, all hope lies on him, because I think he had more of the opportunities than any other player at the pitch on that game. So and he actually did his best to make sure, though he missed a lot of chances, but then he actually did his best to make sure that Man U was not actually embarrassed again. Because to me, I felt if Man U should lose that game, Ten Hag should just go. So probably the players felt, okay, let's just pity our boss, let him not go. Let's save him, because this can't have Man U came and changed the pattern of football, and Ronaldo
they play with more hunger.
And they switched side, and that was how the goal started coming in. But then it was an interesting game actually. I enjoyed the game.
Yeah, it was.
All right, so let's look at the next game played during the weekend, which was between Newcastle and Brighton. Unfortunately, Newcastle lost to Brighton. What do you have to say about this?
Yes, I love that word, unfortunately, because I was not expecting that game to end like that. Honestly, we predicted that match to be a draw, kind of, because we felt maybe Newcastle want to show, since they played a draw in the last game against they want to show hunger. But then what happened? You said something about Alexander Isak.
I said it last
week. And I think it is actually a problem for Newcastle now. They are not doing anything without that guy anymore, and it's a problem. It's a problem. When you build your success around one player, it's a problem. So Newcastle that went for Champions League and played the likes of PSG, played the likes of Dortmund, and you're coming to play Brighton. I'm not giving Brighton any flowers, because I know Brighton is not a big team. Just like you always say, they are a mid-table team. Let's be factual here. Yeah, they are compared to Newcastle. Thank you. But then Newcastle losing at home and could not even get a goal. That goal came in from first half. And second half, I was expecting Newcastle to actually reply that goal. But nothing. They were just struggling and they were even defending the goal so that it not enter 2-0. Yes, and it's not what we expected from Newcastle, honestly. But then it's football. It's football.
All right. So Blaze, what do you have to say?
What I wanted to say is that during the preview, I pointed out that even though that Newcastle, like I always say, it's just like Aston Villa. I rated them immediately after the top 6. You look at Aston Villa, then Newcastle. What I pointed out that day is that Brighton is not a team to write off. Because if you have watched them this season, like when I analyze, I always talk about, have you seen their form this season? If you have watched them, I played them all, and Chelsea won them. But I knew what it took for Chelsea to win them, and I've watched them this season. They are actually in form, and they got a new coach, and their new coach has actually been exceptional so far. So I knew that going into this game, what I expected was a draw, and even though I expected that if anybody will win,
it will be Newcastle.
So, but I'm not going to say I am surprised that Brighton won, because with what they have played so far this season, they've played Manchester United, and they won Manchester United. So you can see that they are not a team to just write off. So when you look at a team like Brighton, you respect them. You know that whenever they're going into this game, one thing about teams like Brighton, just like Bournemouth, is that they don't go into a game like they are the smaller team. Every game They're trying to win. They're not trying to draw. They're not trying to see if they can get the point. They're going into this game with the mentality to win. They are not defending. They are playing. They are playing you the way you are playing them. Do you get that? So going into that game, I feel that they did the same thing. Going with the mindset that it doesn't matter who our opponent is, we can win, and they eventually won. Kudos to Brighton. They're doing well. Let's see if they can. They're actually they're fifth on the table now. 1 point ahead of Chelsea. So let's see if they can continue with this consistency.
Okay, so viewers, at this point, if you're following us, we want you to click on the like and subscribe button if you've not done that. And don't forget to have other interesting programs from our show. We have likes of Spotlight with JJ, we have Healing with BUBE, and we have Weekly. Click on the notification button to always get notified on all of these programs. Thank you. So let's look at the next game that was played within the weekend, and it's between Southampton and Leicester City. Please, what do you think about this game?
Interesting game of football. You know, whenever you watch football and there are lots of goals,
it's very interesting. Yeah,
it's always very interesting because you want to see the goals coming in. It's not the kind of game that we watch between Arsenal and Man City when Arsenal just stayed on the post and they want to sleep and they were trying to defend all game. Come out and attack, let's enjoy football. So that's what happened in that game. The two teams came out, they attacked, and we enjoyed the game of football. But just like we predicted, we said that Leicester should win, the team to win that game. It doesn't matter how it goes. Leicester should win that game, and they eventually won. Kudos to somebody like Vardy. I don't understand that guy. That guy refused to grow old. So you're looking at a guy that has been in the Premier League for so long. I think he's 38.
Yeah, almost the same thing in Ronaldo.
I was about saying that almost the same age.
Ronaldo and Luka Modric.
This guy, Modric, is a Madrid boy. He's a Madrid boy, not a Madrid. Yes, Ronaldo has run to Enos, and this guy is still, even though he's not playing any game, anytime he's introduced to the game, he shows you why he is Vardy. So when to me, I don't know for any other person, he's a Premier League legend. He is more of a Premier League legend than even Ronaldo. And any way you look at it, so it's good to give kudos to players like that, give them their flowers. It's not easy to do something and do it consistently. So he's been good. I was not surprised that Leicester went ahead to win that game, even though Southampton scored 2-0. I wasn't surprised that they came back to win that game, because if you have watched Southampton this season, they've been struggling, consistently struggling. Our guy, the Nigerian guy there, Joe Aribo scored. He scored. It's unfortunate they lost that match. He's actually the only reason why I try to support Southampton.
Forgetting our brother with less than Didi.
I was coming there. No, I was not talking for this game. I'm talking about generally. I try to support Southampton because there's a Joe Aribo there. Of course, I support Leicester because there's an Ndidi there. So going into this particular game, it was anybody that wants to win should win. So for it's unfortunate that Joe Aribo couldn't win that game. But when you're not in a good team, no matter how good you are, what will you do? So football is a team sport. It's not an individual sports. So I think in subsequent games, Southampton should know what to do, even if it's to try and be drawing, if they want to survive in the league. If not, they'll go back from where they're coming from.
Exactly. So Emmanuel, what do you have to say about this?
Well, I would say Southampton, they are not serious because ordinarily in Premier League, in Premier League, when you're able to beat someone 2-0, you should be able to at least get a draw. That's what I'm saying from
you're playing
at home and you're playing. Thank you.
Yes.
So for you to get a 2-0 win in first half and you are coming into the second half with that winning, what you have just done was to maybe reduce the way you open up your attacks. So that at worst you get a 2-1 win or a 2-2 draw. I was surprised. I was just seeing Leicester City scoring goals as if they are playing with their children. I don't understand. No, I think should go back to relegation. They're not serious. They're not fit. Honestly, I don't have more to say there. The game was interesting because of the goals coming in, but then these guys are not serious. They are not serious. Their opponents, Leicester City, actually not. They don't have all it takes to win that game because they too they're actually strong. If you watch all their recent matches, they've not been informed. They've not been informed.
Yes.
They are trying to. So for you to actually get that kind of opportunity again, let's say you still lost the game. you should go back to Premier to relegation. Ipswich Town, though we are coming to Ipswich Town, should even do better. Do better than I'm standing.
Okay, you started the Ipswich Town game. Okay, let's look at the Ipswich Town game versus Everton. They lost to Everton. Blaze, what's your take on this game?
You know, I told you among the relegation team, I always say that Ipswich Town is my favorite. It's unfortunate they couldn't win that game because the kind of game I expected that if they can win a game, they should win. Because Everton is not all that.
Yeah, they're not consistent.
They're not consistent. The team that you can, with the way Ipswich Town play, they can either win or draw. But Everton still showed that. CEO, we are your senior brothers. We have been, we've been here. You know, Everton have been in the league for quite some time. Forget all these things we have been having Everton. I can't remember the last time they went back to
the relegation,
the relegation zone. So you see them struggling at the end of the season. They will still be there. So they just showed that we still have more experience. We still, if we see those we can beat,
be able to beat.
We still try to beat them. So I think that's what happened in that match. So Everton just showed that the more experienced side and they beat Ipswich Town. I think going on Ipswich Town should see if they can. It's not just playing beautiful football. This is Premier League. You're no longer in the Championship.
Okay, let's look at the next game played within the week, which was between Bournemouth and Arsenal. I'll be starting with you, my Arsenal fan. Your team lost. What do you have to say about this game?
Well, I'll say it was a shocking loss to me because during the preview, I predicted Arsenal to win as usual, but then it was so much confidence.
I like that you added that. He predicted it with much confidence.
Of course. The same way you predicted Chelsea to win Liverpool.
I wasn't sounding.
Which you know it was impossible.
I wasn't sounding as confident.
It was easier for Arsenal to win Bournemouth than Chelsea to win Liverpool. It was very easy for Arsenal. Arsenal just.
I'll get my time to talk.
So let's talk about the game actually. But then don't ever imagine that you beat Liverpool. I told you that you cannot even get a draw in that game because you're coming to Liverpool's home. You can talk about a draw when you go to Stamford Bridge, no problem. That's by the way. So for the game between Arsenal and Bournemouth, yes, we lost the game, but I'm not happy with with the way Arteta is managing our one man down games. All the games we've had a one man down, we've always struggled, and it doesn't make sense because this is football. Anything can happen. People even win matches. Look at Man City Wolves. At the dying minutes, just after the goal came in, the ball ended. You can actually win a match within a second. It happened between Man U Chelsea, I think last season or thereabout. It's a few months back. Arsenal should. I wish people who are watching this video would maybe have a close relationship with Arteta or the Arsenal board.
Coaching staff.
They should talk to Arteta. You should do away with this mentality of preserving. You don't preserve a goal. You can't. If you're preserving a goal, you are losing. That's what one thing that's coming about football. If you're losing, you come out. When you come out to play a game, you can see yourself even getting a draw. But you're preserving a goal that you know that you're really one man down. Because the first goal came in 70 minutes and you're still preserving the goal. Second one came in 79 minutes and then you now opened up. We're just lucky that we didn't concede up to 3 goals in that game. But for the red card, I would say it was expected because that game was actually because if not for that foul act, that game would have ended a 3-0 win because that guy was actually on his way to score. That's the truth. But Saliba was just trying to be a hero, thinking maybe it will save Arsenal. The Arsenal will get a draw and they will celebrate him more. But for us, we lost the game. But then we are still going to bounce back. We will. Yeah, we have chances of coming to the top than Chelsea.
Please, you have your time. Say what's in your mind.
Thousand Castle. During the review, I told him something that it's not about me bantering as I'm there. I told him that Bournemouth is not a team you just can write off. I told him that this team is a team I have watched. The way they played against me, and I saw that this team is a team. This same team they played with Arsenal is the same way they'll play against Man City. So this is just these guys. And it's not about the red card. Red card or not, I knew that these guys are going to get something out of that game. and it's not because I disrespect Arsenal or not. These guys they're just like Brighton, even though that they're not a very big team. They're not afraid of you. So whenever they come into a game, they come into a game with the mentality that they want to win. They don't want to draw. Do you get what I'm trying to say? So immediately Arsenal got that red card, I celebrated the red card before celebrating the goal, because I knew the goal will eventually come. Because it's Bournemouth we're talking about here. When the red card happened, I was watching the game in the back. I asked BUBE now. I told BUBE up. I said, BUBE is happening. I jumped up. I knew the goal will eventually come, because forget what Arteta was trying to do. There's no way Arteta would have managed that game. So I agree with Emma in a way. This is a game that you know that you cannot manage these guys. These guys can attack. Why not take the risk and attack too? So eventually, if you lose, you know that you lost fight.
But you back to the boss, you defended the goal, and you still lost.
So packing the boss to me was the answer.
They are used to it. Arsenal is used to that.
No, Arsenal knows how. Arsenal play a defensive kind of football. Even when they're winning, they play a defensive kind of football. So this time around, that you wouldn't expect when you're winning naturally, you play defensive. You wouldn't expect that when they have the red card. So they want to continue defending. So it's their pattern of game. But I think this is the kind of game that Arteta would have taken that risk. Come out and play these guys, because if you match these guys aura to aura, at the end of the day, when you compare the two teams, you have the better stars. So at the end of the day, if you match these guys, it's possible that you come out with a draw. Or it's even possible that you win, because as at the red card, the game was 0-0. So going to defend, I knew that no matter how they try to defend, one goal will come in, because these guys, it's natural for them to create chances and score. Even though that they have there's this winger they have that is like Adama Traore, that he knows how to dribble, he knows how to score, to create chances. His problem is how to score goals. But Bournemouth, I think with this, my friend Emma has learnt a lesson that you can go out in confidence for your team, but there are things you see, you say, okay, even if but the way he went all out, I knew that he will eat his words. In fact, he should be wearing a Chelsea jersey now, but why should I? Emma, agree though, but I'll leave that for that.
Okay, let's look at the next game that was played within the weekend, which was between Wolves Man City. Emmanuel, what do you have to say about this?
It was a surprising game to me, honestly. I was not expecting Wolves to actually score first. Even though I was expecting Wolves to actually come up with a goal, at least prove some, show that they're at home and, the name Wolves. But then, that game was actually struggling for Man City. At a point, all Man City players came to attack. There was no defender. I was asking myself, what if these guys get a counter? They've lost the game. But that's what I love about Guardiola.
Doesn't care.
Oh God!
Doesn't care.
and this guy lands from Guardiola. He was assistant coach to Guardiola. Why are you not learning to that point? Guardiola does not mind to bring in a goalkeeper.
Everybody has a philosophy.
You still see him telling you, go. You see everybody inside your 18-year boss. I pity Wolves yesterday. I pity them. I wish that game had extra time. Maybe like say 7 minutes. That goal would have been like 4 because most players they all came out. They were like, we must win this game. And luckily for them, they won the game. But then the goal, I think I don't agree with that goal. Honestly, that's an offside goal because what's his name? This guy that was
John Stones.
The guy that was at the Bernardo Silva, Bernardo Silva was actually distracting the goalkeeper. I think that was just the tactics they used. The goalkeeper was like, trying to leave my space, and he was still offside. Then they now use advantage, cross the game, and then they got that header, and then they score. So I think the VAR was what actually helped Man City, because the referee just actually cancelled that game. That goal was it took him like 3-4 minutes. And the VAR had to call the referee, go and review. So I think it was the VAR that gave Man City that win, not even the referee. But then it's football, anything can happen.
So let's look at the last game that was played on Sunday, which was between Liverpool and Chelsea, and there were lots of drama in this game. And I'll be starting with you, my Chelsea fan. what's your take? Seeing that your team lost
They
to
lost,
Liverpool.
yeah, they lost very well.
We didn't lose very well. We didn't lose very well. It's unfortunate that we lost, even though every loss is a loss, but we didn't lose the way Emma expected it. I say something, you people should respect Chelsea. So far this season, I've lost to only Man City and Liverpool, which are the biggest teams in the Liverpool.
Yeah.
Not just the big teams, the biggest team in the league is Man City and Liverpool. And the two losses that we have, we dominated that game. Chelsea is going somewhere.
Yeah.
If you watch the game we played against Man City, we dominated the game. You watch this game we played against Liverpool, go and check the stats. I'm not just saying. Chelsea played better. Do you understand? It's unfortunate that eventually we lost. Do you get? But what is it showing? It's showing that we are going somewhere. So let's see the other half of this season. This guy just came in, and with everything that we did in Chelsea, you should even give him kudos that he's doing this good.
Yeah, he's even a new coach.
He's a new coach, and his slot is a new coach also, but he inherited a team that's already gelled and built. Malaska, on the other hand, did not inherit that kind of team, and he's playing this well. Me, I don't know for anybody, I will still give him time. And I think that we will still get better. I don't think this Liverpool will beat me at home. I don't think they will beat me at home. Because if you really watch that match, I didn't watch the full game, but if you watch that match, you see that it's just that we couldn't bury our chances. Yeah. Which has been, if you watch our games, which has been one of from last season. Yeah. Even though this season we have improved because we are the best attacking side this season in the Premier League. We have actually improved, but if we can bury our chances, this kind of game, and even the Liverpool's second goal, I think Sanchez had to do better. And I think if Sanchez had done better, we would have been talking about a draw now. I didn't see anything. Liverpool did not outplay Chelsea. If you watch Liverpool versus Manchester United, you know that they outplayed Manchester. The coach and the slot cannot come out to say he outplayed Chelsea. Yeah. In fact, if you watch immediately after the final race, you should have seen how relieved he was, because he knew that this game was a game that it's possible that he either drew that game or lost that game. But kudos to Liverpool, is exceptional what Ancelotti. I wouldn't take it away from him, even though that he got a team that is already built. But there are some coaches that will get a team that is built and they'll still destroy that built team. So coming into that team and playing with these guys in a league like the Premier League, I think he's doing well so far, and I give him that kudos. And I also think that Chelsea is a team to watch this season. We are sixth now. Let's see.
Okay, I want to ask you a quick question. I saw some annoying fans, some Chelsea fans, and they were saying annoying things. They were like saying that the penalty that was denied wasn't a fair one on their side, and the one that was given to Liverpool as well. I think there was kind of a partial in the game. What do you think? Do you think the referee was being partial in the game, or do you think that him denying that penalty for Chelsea was a fair one on his side?
I think the two penalty chances, both the one for Liverpool and Chelsea, were penalties, even though they didn't give Chelsea their own, because was it Salah? Was it Salah? That's the one against Sancho. It was Salah, right? Yeah. Salah actually matched him. He stepped on his foot. So I don't know what else you would do for you to call it a penalty. But Premier League is a controversial league. There are lots of things. Me, I always balance this things. So if you say that Salah matched Sancho, what will you say about the one that Tosin did? Yeah. That they didn't give him a red card. Yeah. So Premier League, we should talk about the refereeing of the Premier League. Be consistent. Exactly. When you say this is a penalty, let it be a penalty. When you say this is a red card, let it be not you blow something else for this team. Exactly. So if I was an Arsenal fan watching that Chelsea match, I'll be very pissed because that was actually almost the same scenario. Yeah. So why not give the red card? Why not give the penalty? So I think every time these things happen time after time in the Premier League. You don't see these things happen in the Champions League. You don't see these things happen in other leagues. That's why you go into international football and it's hard for you to see England refs in a competition like the World Cup or the Euros, because they feel that they are not good referees. So the Premier League should work on their refereeing. This is not the first time that complaints like this are happening. Just be consistent. What you say is a foul should be a foul. What you say is a card should be a card. That's what I think about the issue.
All right, thank you so much. Do you have anything to say?
The only thing I can say is that all this grammar Blaze is speaking here. I said it that Liverpool will beat Chelsea.
You said you said they would.
I've been listening to him. I've been listening to him.
You said they would dominate me.
Even if Liverpool
with 3 goals.
I had to rephrase
and I told you that it's not possible.
I had to rephrase my statement. I told you that even if that match will not end in a 3-0, so a 3-1 win, I knew that Chelsea will definitely score.
I don't really understand how is a man that lost to Bournemouth talking to me that lost to Liverpool?
See,
you lost to Bournemouth and you're talking to me that lost to Liverpool.
Let me not
the biggest team in the Premier League. You lost to Bournemouth. Where is Bournemouth in the league table?
Blaze, let me not say a challenge to you now, publicly, and the viewers will bear me witness.
Yes.
If you can get a win against Liverpool in your home, I will wear a Chelsea for 1 week.
So viewers, this is all we're coming to the end of the show, and just like it's always interesting to have my guys here in the studio discussing football. Blaze, it's always nice having you here.
It's beautiful to be here. It's beautiful to see BUBE smile. It's beautiful to banter Emma. I always look forward to banter Emma. It's good that Bournemouth has humbled him. Let's see again next week to preview the next game.
Yes, Emmanuel is always nice having you here.
Yeah, I always look forward to coming here, and I always look forward to bantering and making sure that Chelsea does not have anywhere close to the trophy. They don't come close to the trophy.
Look at an Arsenal fan talking about trophy.
Okay, viewers, please, if you've not subscribed to our channel, we are begging you. Kindly click on the like and subscribe button below. Thank you so much. See you in our next episode.